Welcome, welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. Those of you who are in the room here at Harmony Spiritual Center today, and those of you who are watching online or who will be watching a bit later, thank you for being here. We are, as we've already said, Pat has already told you that we are a New Thought Spiritual Center. And I wanted to say, because we've had some discussion about this, the God is ... and we put that up, God is ... and what that means. And that is really the crux of what we believe, that we co-create our lives with our thoughts and our beliefs, and whatever you say after the ... is what's true for you. God is love. God is abundant. God is punishing. Whatever the words you say after that is what God is for you, which means that if you don't like what God is, you can change what God is for you by changing how you think about what God is for you. Because God is exactly that, unchanging, abundant joy. And how we receive that is about what we believe. It's about our own thoughts and our own hearts. And we get to examine those all the time and change what our experiences are. Change what our experiences are. That's the only thing that changes, is our mind. Because God is everlasting and unchanging, and forever there, always with us, no matter what we do. So I want to just to say that real quickly, because the God is was just all over everything today, and I wanted to tell you why we do that, what that means. So the previous talk that we had was called Wake from Within, because the truth is that we're creating our life from inside out. It's not what's going on out there. It doesn't matter what's going on out there. What matters is going on in here. What's happening in your heart? What's happening in your mind? What are you believing? What are you drawing to you? We all are aware of the law of attraction, and it is real. It is absolutely real. And so we control what we bring into our lives by what we accept as our own thoughts and our own beliefs about what's powerful and what is possible for today, for our lives. I wanted to do the last thing I said last week, because this was a talk last week, was you may not be the center of the universe, but you are the center of your universe. And you get to choose what your universe is going to look like. That's what we get to do. We get to create our own life. You don't like what's happening in your life? Change it. Change your mind about it. Change your mind about it. I'm doing this like it's that easy. It's simple, sometimes not so easy, but we can do it. And that's what we're here to do, to support one another and to talk about what that looks like and how we get to do that. Today's talk is about who you are already. The biggest work that we ever have to do, always, is remembering who we are already. We are already individualized expressions of the one. We are the infinite bound by form. That is all we are. We are the infinite, bound by form. That's the only thing binding us. Everything else is God. Do you understand that? We are the infinite. And so what you are already, and we have lots of messages that will tell us that we are not, that you're not this, you're not that, you're not the other thing. But those are other people's thoughts. And we don't have to take on those thoughts. But there are things that we have taken on. So I want to share with you what's happened in our lives, make it real for you, and talk about what the work is and why we have to work so diligently, not hard, but diligently, regularly, always, at remembering who we already are. Who we already are, the infinite, and everything is possible. Everything is possible through the mind of God, which is with us. Okay, we co-create our lives. So I invited you all, you may not have seen it because I forgot to mention it last week, and I did put it in the newsletter, but there was a workshop on Saturday with Jerry Troyer. He was one of our guest speakers here, and he had a workshop on money. Money is a difficult thing for a lot of people. It's you either just really gravitate toward it and it just comes to you, or you're just like, ugh, money, and it's all about our history with money, our beliefs, and not our history personally with money, but our history as far as our families are concerned, what we grew up to believe. And so yesterday was all about how our thoughts about money, and it was amazing to me. We had about 25, 30 people on it was a Zoom call, and we were on there for 3 hours. And the whole thing was digging up what you believe about money. And most of the stories that we got in groups, and because you can move into chambers where you're in groups with 3 or 4 people when you're on Zoom. And so we're in different chambers just talking to 3 or 4 people at a time. And everybody's story was about what they learned about money when they grew up. And we're talking about 60-year-old people and above. And we're still talking about what happened to us as kids, what we believe as children. I grew up green. My father was in the military. He was in the Army. And we moved from place to place to place. It was lovely. We moved from place, but it was always, always on a military base. Every now and again, we lived on what they call the economy, which is the outside of but it was right there, and we were still going to school on the base and all of that. So everything for me was green. We always lived in military housing. We just did all those things. So here's what I grew up believing. Whether someone said it or not, this is what I grew up believing. Can't afford a house. I can't buy a house. Can't afford a house. Why? Because we never had one. We never had our own house. So I thought, you can never buy a house. My mom and dad met in college. And they left. When they married, they met each other. They dropped out of school, married, and he got into the Army and immediately went off to a war. And she moved in with his parents. So they didn't finish school. So my thought about school was, well, they both went because they both got scholarships. They both got scholarships. So school is expensive. You can't go unless you're smart enough to get a scholarship. Well, I don't even know how to get a scholarship, so that's out. I'm never going to school. Nobody said anything about that, but that's what I believed. Money lasts, and we got paid. My father got paid on the 1st of every month. That's it, 1st of every month. So money, here's what I grew up. Money was, we were flush from the 1st to the 15th. Right? 16th through the 30th, 31st, we were struggling. So that's how money works. As soon as you get it, you just spend it all. And then you struggle until the next check comes in. Okay, so these are just all of the thoughts. I'm just sharing a couple of things that I thought. And not until 2018, well, actually before that, let me just tell you the first thing that I discovered, a couple of things. Love showed me something different. I had people in my life who loved me and heard me saying these ridiculous things. And the first thing was I couldn't go to college. And my girlfriend at the time, I was 18 years old, and she said, what the hell are you talking about? Go to community college. And I said, what is that? Never heard of it. There was no community college on the base. So I'd never heard of it. So I'm thinking, that doesn't make any sense. Why would anybody do anything? Why would they give away? What? And she just took me by the hand, got me on the bus, and took me to the community college where I went. And I'm just like, holy moly. That was my beginning of my college education. The second thing is that I was working as a peace officer in Los Angeles, and I met a gentleman who became my husband, and I was living in an apartment, and he said, what are you doing? Why do you live in this apartment? Why don't you buy a house? And I said, oh, I can't afford a house. He said, are you crazy? First of all, you make a lot of money. Of course you can. I said, how? Took me by the hand, not kidding, and showed me how to do it and helped me buy my first home. This is what people who love, and you're speaking craziness, and they know better, they share with you the truth. That's what we do, right? As we're struggling and we're learning things about ourselves, about how life works. One of the greatest things that I love about New Thought, and this community in particular, is that once we learn and we know ourselves how spirit works and how the law of attraction works and all the principles work, our biggest thing is now trying to serve and help other people who are who are not understanding, who are not living the lives they'd like to live. And we go, no. Now, come here, girl. Here's how this works, okay? Because we know the truth now. And we're going to stop some of this suffering, at least the suffering around us. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. So that's what we do. That's the story. So the beliefs that were challenged by love was that there's plenty. The universe is abundant. You are worthy. Just the way that I lived, the way that my parents, we grew up, and they were great parents. I love them. They love me fully. But I just thought, well, people had homes and people who didn't, these are the people that are worthy of getting them. And obviously, for some reason, we simply weren't worthy of getting it. That's not true. So we are worthy, all of us, each and every one of us. And that's part of what we are trying to remember in terms of who we are. Someone has told us, many of us along the way, that you don't have the right color. Not even talking about skin. Like, you're not even wearing the right color clothes. Because I'm a Cowboy fan. What the hell are you doing with these Red Sox? Whatever, right? I mean, sorry. Someone's always trying to tell you how you're supposed to be. And if we take that on, then we think that we're not right? There's something wrong with us. We're not worthy to be in this clique, in this clan, and that's part of our philosophy is that inclusiveness. Everybody belongs. We don't tell people you don't belong. Who are we? Because here's what we know. What are we looking at? When we look at someone, we're looking at the face of God, right? In bounded form. We're looking at the face of God in bounded form. That's what we're doing. So how can you tell God? I'm not going to tell God he doesn't belong, she doesn't belong. What are you talking about? I would never say that. Never. None of us would. So that's what we get to do. So we get to decide. The point of the stories that I'm telling you in this point right now is that we have to discover what we believe automatically. What we automatically believe. We don't always know, but we can tell that it's not a true belief when our life isn't working well. When our life isn't working well, I guarantee there's a belief you have that isn't true. That isn't true. Whether you believe you're unworthy of something, of someone, of having love, of having abundance, it's not true. And when you look into yourself, and you can only ask yourself, what is it that I'm believing about this thing that keeps coming, and I don't want it, that I keep coming back in my life? What is it? There's something you believe. And once you get that and you figure out what that belief is, you can let it go and decide to believe something different. I am worthy of a better relationship, of a better partner, of a partner who allows me to be who I am while they're being who they are. Loves me for who I am right now, not for who I will become. Once they mold me, right, into the person they want me to be, then I'll be lovable. Okay? None of that. None of that. Okay? Nothing. I think you guys say, everybody shaking their head, what the hell? No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So that's what we do here in New Thought. So, as I've kind of already made this point, but once we are here and we really understand who you are, you understand who you are, you know, because the title of the talk is Who You Already Are. So it's just about remembering. It's not about discovering. It's not about figuring, not about finding out, it's not about running around, going here and there and hither and yon. It's just about remembering. You are already infinite. You're already love. You are God. I am infinite, and you can say this yourself, I am infinite love. That's what I am. And who I'm looking at is infinite love. Now, they may not be, their behaviors may tell you that they're unaware of who they are. That's why people behave the way they do, because they're unaware of who they are. They can't remember. And our job is to help them remember, and we help them remember by just looking at them with the eyes of love. They can feel it. The energy of looking at someone with no blame, with saying, I love you, you absolutely belong here in this room. Absolutely belong here in this room right now with me, with all of us. When you look at people like that, they feel that, and their hearts begin to churn, and they start to remember. That's all we have to do, is look at people like we know the truth. Look at people like we know the truth. And when someone is saying, hey, I really want to do this, then do it. It's done. Do you need me to walk with you? What do you need? Because it's already done. If you say, and there's a lot of people in this room right now, a lot, that just seems to be something going on in the universe right now, that great things are happening. Great things are happening. And it's different from what they've done before. And they're asking like, well, I don't know how to do this. Of course you know, it's not your business. It's not your business to know how. That's what scares us. It's like, oh, I can't do that, I don't know how. No, you don't know how, because you've never done it before. Stop being crazy. Just let Spirit unfold it. What you need to know is going to come to you. The energy of love, you know that it's something for you because there's so much energy, there's so much excitement. Oh, you can feel it. You know this is where you're supposed to be. You know this is what you're supposed to be doing. The fear is, I don't know how to do it. Let go of that. Because what you need to know, I guarantee, will be drawn to you. It's going to be drawn to you. So just stand in faith and know that what you need to know will come to you as you need to know it. Don't worry about that. And if it's not coming fast enough, you can just ask Spirit, all right, Spirit, it's getting a little bit late now. What's happening? I'm getting a little nervous. It's okay. You're not a bad person, or God isn't going to get mad. God going to say, well, you don't have enough faith. None of that's going to happen. You ask God for everything you need. And if you need a little bit more assurance, you say, I need a little bit more assurance. I need a visible a sample of supply right now. And something will show up. I need a visible sample of supply right now. Okay. Just say that. And there you have it. You'll have it. And if you don't believe me, just try it. I'm not asking you to believe anything I'm saying. I'm asking you to experiment with it. Know for yourself. I know. I'm speaking from what place of knowing. What I know for sure. Me and Oprah. What I know for sure. Because this is how I live. And when I don't know something, I call God George. I talk to George exactly like I'm talking to you right now. What is this? What's going on? In fact, I had an issue. It's not an issue, but it's only an issue in your own head. Right? So anyway, it was an issue about money, and I was concerned about a trip I'm getting ready to take. And Spirit said, what, girl, first of all, you have about 5 credit cards hanging out in your drawer that you don't even use. So you have plenty of money. So if you're concerned that things aren't going to work out, take them with you. Then you'll know you'll have them. But it's already taken care of. But there's no problem if you go ahead and take those with you, if that gives you some confidence or some relief. Just take them. So what? You won't need them, but go ahead and take them. Oh, you know what? You're so right. You're so right about that. They are there. I didn't forget about it. Thank you. Okay? You see what I mean? So it's already there. I'm just bungling my head up with so much crap. I don't even see what's already there for me. And you can just ask, Spirit, what's here for me now? Because the universe is abundant, and what you need is already there for you. For some reason, you're not seeing it. So just ask God to open your eyes and let me see what is here for me now, but what it is I'm asking to have done. That's how it works. Okay? And if you can't, we have prayer warriors in the room. Right after our services, we got people in the back, prayer chaplains that'll pray with you and see for you until you can see for yourself. And there's no shame in that, and that works as well. Okay? That works as well. But when you see that working, you'll see, well, shoot, they can do it, I can do it. Okay? We were born to manifest the beauty, the greatness, the glory of God in us and the purpose for which we are here. We're born to manifest that. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. I was talking with someone earlier, and they said, I don't know how much longer I have to live. Nobody does. I could drop out today. This could be my last talk. So I'm going to give it my all. That's the point, right? You don't know. So live like you don't know. Live like this is it. So make sure that you are living the life, or at least heading towards the life that you want. Because you don't know how much time you have. You don't have time to be messing around. Live your best life now. Right now. Right now. Just claim it. Just claim it. So one of the biggest, I'm going to end with this thing. I try to give you guys some action items to take with you. And I say this one every time because this one's the most important. You have to, and I don't use have to because it's shoulda, coulda, woulda, have to. I don't like those words. But if you want to be on this journey and you actually want to know for yourself who God is, you have to do these 2 things. You have to have a daily, regular spiritual practice. And what I mean by a spiritual practice is just a prayer and meditation. You could just wake up and say, God, thank you for this day. That's a prayer. Okay? And you could just sit in meditation and go, all right, what's happening today? That's a meditation. So it doesn't have to be a big old long thing where you're sitting for half an hour with beads going on and music playing and candles lit. Because it gets to be too much. It gets to be too much. You can't do that every day. I do because I like it. But I also get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And so for those of you who are early risers, that's like crazy. Right? I'm not doing that. But do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. But stay in touch with Spirit every single day. Okay? Intentionally. intentionally saying with everything with a prayer of gratitude. If you all you say is thank you, that is all the prayer you ever need, ever. Thank you. And then a meditation. It's just talk to me. Let me hear from you. So you know what the voice of God sounds like to you. Because I guarantee you that when you're in trouble, there's going to be so much voices whirling around, you're not going to have time to figure out which one's God and which one's craziness, which one's you and ego. You're not going to have time to figure that out. So know beforehand what the voice of God sounds like to you. Okay? Just know that. That's why it's prayer and meditation. And who do I say I am? Who do I say? So this is a question in meditation you want to ask yourself. Who do I say I am? Not what other people say. Oh, you're a great singer. Oh, you sing too white. Oh, whatever, all those crazy messages that other people have said to you over your lifetime, who do you say you are? That's the only thing that matters. So get quiet during your meditation time, or any time, if it's not just meditation time, and find out who you say you are, and then go about being that. Just go about being that. And how do I go about being that? Just claim that that's what you are, and tell God, I need to know how to be that. That's who I am. What do I move forward and do? That's who I am. What do I move forward and do? That's it. Just ask those questions, what you need to know. And once you know who you are, then the question is, I always ask, what is mine to do? Have I said that before? She's miming me. What is mine to do? That's it. So, and the reason why you want to do that is so you can stay out of other people's business, because you got enough stuff to do on your own. You don't have time to be telling other people what to do, right? Tell yourself what to do. What is mine to do? That is all you need. And that's it. Right? That's how you have a great life. So you are already fabulous. You're already infinite. You already have everything you need to create the life you want. Just claim it. Just say yes, yes, yes. And listen for what is yours to do. That is all. That is all. The work we have to do is always remembering who we already are. That's it. Just remember. And when you forget, bring yourself back. Nope. This is who I am. I am divine love. That's who I am. Your whole life is a manifestation of the thoughts that go on inside your head. This is a quote by Lisa Nichols, and it's also the truth. Your whole life is a manifestation of the thoughts that go on in your head. The more we can grab hold of our thoughts and say, that's not a thought, that's not my thought, that's somebody's thought, get out, it's not mine, the better your life is going to be, the more your life is going to be who you want it to be. There is no greater gift, this is from Oprah Winfrey, there's no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor who you are. This is why you were born and how you become most truly alive. And so it is. Thank you.